Hey everyone, Kyle once again, and welcome back to since I reviewed the worst films of the 2016. Now, ending this year on the good note of reviewing the best films, in my opinion, of 2016. So now I've decided to mention. Before I get into that, there's a few honorable mentions that I wanted. The other ones I did like, but I didn't feel like put in my top list. Otherwise, it would have been too long to talk about. So now for the few honorable mentions. Um, One of them that I got for Christmas, the remake of The Magnificent Seven. Um, definitely with that best highlight. One of the highlights is for his Denzel Washington and Chris Pratt. This is not too, of course, there's not too many westerns that comes out anymore. But I would say I find this better than Wild Wild West. I would definitely find it better than there was another western film I didn't think was not that good though. But yeah, definitely is better than Wild Wild West. I would say I enjoy Cowboys and Aliens a bit more, but I think I'll find this a little bit better than well, there's a lot of people like Django Unchained, but Django Unchained was decent as well though, so maybe I'll put this on the set with Django Unchained. But this is from the director of Anton Fuqua, who directed Ellipsis Fallen, Training Day, Equalizer, Tears of the Sun, The Replacement Killers. So I was a decent Western one. I was interested because with Chris Pratt and Denzel Washington. So yeah, Magnificent Seven. Next is one of the horror films that is a sequel, and that is The Conjuring 2. Once again, directed by James Wan. I thought James Wan did a good job directing once again, and the film pretty much made like for the same amount of money worldwide as the first film did, but maybe just slightly a bit more. Um, Other the returning cast members of Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga who I enjoyed in the first film. That once again they do a good job as well. Um, Definitely I'll say they're better than the Darkness or better than The Witch. The other two horror films that were my top worst ones. But I thought I liked Conjuring 2. I would say I liked the first one more, but I thought it was a decent effort after the first film. So, especially with James Wan once again directing. But the supporting cast members I thought was decent as well, and how the premise were although one part of me says they do have the little bit of the Amityville horror, the house. I wish that part of me wished they could have set out on that one, which I would kind of would be interested in since investigating the Amityville house. But in the course of this one, they go to London to help with this girl. But I'll review the sequel sometime though, so I don't give too much into it. But that's the one I like about it. Conjuring 2. Next is one that a comedy that stars Kevin Hart, but I did not like Ride Along 2. I said this, I thought this was much funnier. I thought Central Intelligence with starring Dwayne Johnson. Um, Now of course I did see the trailer for Baywatch, which I think didn't look that funny though. So I thought this one looked a bit more funnier than Baywatch than when I saw the trailer for. But I thought Dwayne Johnson. I thought he was good and funny. And Kevin Hart, like I said, I'm not the biggest fan of him though, and I did not like Ride Along 2. But I think I liked him better in this than Ride Along 2 because I thought with his character, I thought was a kind of a good character because how the opening went back in the days of the high school, when Kevin Hart's character was like the coolest kid, the coolest one in high school, and oh, of course, they say when back when young Dwayne Johnson was like fat and all that, and when the kids like throw him out in the gymnasium, embarrassing from everyone, and like Kevin Hart does like a good thing to takes his jacket and covers him up. So it shows like how his character was like how it was kind of like good hearted and all that, and all the and later when Dwayne Johnson comes back with them, and then all the hijinks ensues with the I'm in the CIA, and then they all get chased by bad guys and stuff. So yeah, Central Intelligence. Of course, it did pretty well critically and box office wise, even despite on opening the same weekend as Finding Dory. But I liked Central Intelligence. I thought it was a pretty decent comedy, especially with Dwayne Johnson. But also think Kevin Hart that he did a pretty decent job in this one, better than Ride Along too. So yeah, Central Intelligence. Next is an animated film, which it's based on the video game, but I've never played it though. But I thought there was a decent animated film. The Angry Birds movie, yeah. I've never played the Angry Birds film, the games, never have. Then I saw the trailer, I was like, okay. But because the only character I do know is Red, voiced by Jason Sudeikis. And the supporting ones like Josh Gad, voiced Olaf in Frozen as what's his name, Chuck. Danny McBride as Bomb. Which also one of the problems with Sean Penn, his voice, like he voices like what's his name, Terrence, the big huge one right there. But all he doesn't say anything. All he does is I was like, I probably wouldn't have known that was Sean Penn though, but I thought I could not even say like a few words or anything. That's like a thing that I thought was okay. That Sean Penn, but I was like, okay, he's got a voice in this, and he's like that character, and all he does is Kind of a tad disappointed in that though, but I don't know how the character is in the games, but other ones like Bill Hader as the pig, from the villains of the Angry Birds, and then Peter Dinklage as Mighty Eagle. Yeah, like I thought it was a decent one because some of the jokes I just think was not funny, especially from the trailer. Like with Dan McBride, Josh Gad, they're in the Mighty Eagle's water of wisdom, and they're drinking it, and of course when it comes out, of course, yeah, he's pissing in it. They're drinking what he pissed in. Yeah, that's something that I did not care for. Yeah, but other than that though, I thought animation was pretty decent. It made a good enough amount of money though. So yeah, Angry Birds, I thought was pretty decent though. Yeah, there's couple of issues though, but overall I liked it. Next is one of the live-action films of the Disney remakes, and that is The Jungle Book. Definitely was a huge impact earlier this year with a big opening, almost making $1 billion, almost. Way past of Maleficent and Cinderella, and of course I said how I felt about the next upcoming one for Beauty and the Beast. But I thought the Jungle Book was pretty good. I thought the visuals for the animals I thought was well done. The voices of Bill Murray, Ben Kingsley, Idris Elba, Christopher Walken, Scarlett Johansson. Other the visuals of the animals I thought were very, even though yeah everything is like CG though. How I get on about that about everything being CG though, but the visuals I thought was pretty good overall, and the young kid who plays Mowgli, I thought he was decent, and especially for the directing from Jon Favreau. So yeah, the Jungle Book I liked, but it's not me being on my top 10 though. And the next one, which I'm sure, overall I do like, but I'm sure not people say, oh, they don't want to see no more of these sequels, which I completely understand though. But yeah, Ice Age Collision Course. I think for the most part, the returning original cast members like Ray Romano, Dennis Leary, John Leguizamo. Once again, we're all pretty good as well. And then of course with supporting ones like Jennifer Lopez, Queen Latifah, even the return of Buck from voiced by Simon Pegg from Dawn of the Dinosaurs. Nick Offerman was voiced as one of those dinosaur birds. I forget what they're called though. Josh Peck and Sean William Scott as the two possums, Crash and Ed. Yeah, the whole thing with just when the meteor is coming towards Earth and they have to find a way to redirect it out into space. Yeah, even my brother, he's not a fan of. Clearly, he's not a fan of this film because he has, even though he has not seen it, but he's like, he saw the trailer. It's like, oh god. Yeah, and I do completely understand why people say no more of these sequels. I understand that though, but I'm a fan of the franchise, so and it made much less movie than the previous two films, so it made like 400 million, but still make more met with more negative reviews and I thought there's funny moments when once again with Scrat, when he's up in that ship. So yeah, overall I did like Ice Age Collision Course, but definitely not on my worth top 10. Now getting into my top 11, not top 10, my top 11. So the top 11 films that I liked this year. So starting off with number 11, The Purge election year, which I reviewed for the Halloween review. Um, I reviewed though, but I'm just saying that the guy who directed all three of these films, I think it was still better than the first film. But although I do say I think I like Anarchy a little bit more better. But what I liked about it is that I liked that Frank Grillo came back from Anarchy. I thought he did a good job as well. Now, one of the issues I had though, but he didn't do much more of the fighting or stuff like that. Even though he got to shoot some people and have the knife fight at the end of the film. But for the most part, yeah, I thought for the most good chunk of in the middle, he didn't do much though. But still, I thought Frank Grillo was good. Supporting cast members like Elizabeth Mitchell, who's the woman senator that Frank Grillo has to protect because she's going to try to become president to stop the Purge once and for all. Michael T. Williamson was nice from who played Bubba Gump, Bubba from Forrest Gump. It was nice to see him in this as well, and I thought he did pretty good as well. And I forgot the woman who plays I forgot her character's name. I thought she did really had a badass moment where she ran those two bitchy girls over that want to break into Michael T. Williams' store. She runs them over and then comes out and just shoots them. I thought that was a badass moment from her. And the part where the part where after them attacked by the murder tourist, one with wearing the Uncle Sam mask. But overall, yeah, I am. I like The Purge though, but it's not that further down on my list because I have a few issues though, like the ones I said. But you can check out my other review of it to get the more details into it. But I like The Purge, and even though if they're planning to do a prequel, which is going to have to, if they're making another one, it has to be a prequel, like going back to the very first Purge, and that's all about as far as you can go with this franchise. But I know some people say, "Oh, that's enough with these Purge films." But yeah, I like this one, and Anarchy, I thought it's still the best one though. But I like that film a lot. But both of these and this film is still better than the first one. So The Purge, election year. Yeah, because they thought it went on to go on to make more money than the second film because considering the fact it came out on the 4th of July weekend. But I like the first. I like this one though, but that's why it's number 11. Now number 10, which is another one that I've already viewed, and I overall do like it, but it's not. Which a lot of people say put this on one of their top 3 or 5 of the best films, but there's films I thought was better though. But still, I like it. Deadpool. Yeah, I like Deadpool and Ryan Reynolds. I thought he did really good as Wade Wilson, Deadpool, and I could tell how all over the parts, the years that they want to make this film. I could see that's why they wanted that Ryan Reynolds liked putting effort into the character, how much that he liked about it, and I could definitely see that. And I thought some of the humor I did like, but a lot of times there was humors that I thought I did not like. So half and half on the humor I did like, and some of it I did not like. And also the villain I thought was pretty much nothing though. The guy who's like in transporter refueled. I thought he was not that really good. And same thing. Even Gina Carano who plays uh was it Angel Dust? Who's like the strong woman. Not much to her either though. But some of the humor that I thought was funny when on the highway sequence after when Colossus and Negasonic Teenage Warhead gets there, when the moment where when Deadpool turns around and he sees that uh, Francis is gone, he's like, oh. Then he goes and breaks his own wrist from Colossus, and he breaks his other wrist and breaks his other foot. That I thought was pretty funny. So that's that type of humor. That's the type of humor that I thought I would see from the character of Deadpool. And then he cuts his own hand off, and also things with the blood. Yeah, there's the CG blood in here, which it's much lower budget from the other X-Men films. They could have tried to do some practical blood. And there's some like part where he cuts off a guy's head and kicks the head towards another person. I like that idea though, but of course that was obviously CG head. And the fight, yeah, of course, we're like how would how they redo the fights, from the test footage, with the highway. I didn't see like it was like that overall spectacular. But also the opening credits, I thought I liked how the way it was panning, like how the credits are going like a douchebag's film or the comic relief or whatever. How the way credits are going, have the song "Call Me Angel," just call me Angel, like how it was playing at the end of the test footage. Um, but Ryan Reynolds, I thought he was really good as Deadpool. I can see why he put like real effort into this character. The other supporting members like Morena Baccarin, who plays his girlfriend. I thought she was. I guess overall fine. I would say. T.J. Miller, I thought he was definitely another one of characters I liked in the movie as Weasel. Because I like T.J. Miller, and he was one of the characters I thought really did like. Um, but the action, some of the action I did overall did like, and the songs I did also liked, and like also playing like Wham. And speaking of Wham, I know about George Michael passed away also as well. So I that's one I did not mention in my memoriam. So yeah, George Michael, I gotta mention about that. May he rest in peace as well. Because I meant they mentioned Wham, playing at the end of the film when Ryan goes Wham. Yeah, yeah, it sucks. What happened to George Michael though? But and of course the little reference moments. We has a little action figure from the character of Deadpool from X-Men Origins Wolverine. Yeah, I thought that was kind of a funny thing with the little action figure of that character, and the thing with the magazine where he takes his face of Hugh Jackman's face at the end of the movie, and the Colossus. There was moments where well, pretty much at the end of the film he gets his ass kicked by Gina Carano. He's supposed to be a really strong person though, but yeah, he is. He throws a tire, but he pretty much gets his ass kicked, which that's. I don't know why I've seen that. Good characters like that get their asses kicked like bitches, He gets his ass kicked and he gets punched in his steel groin, and then he gets almost getting strangled before getting saved by Negasonic Teenage Warhead. And the girl who played Negasonic Teenage Warhead, I thought she was fine as well. So yeah, all the stuff that improvement, there's like a lot of things I liked about but some things I did not like Colossus getting his ass kicked, and then some of the jokes I didn't think was funny. Some of them, and the villains I thought were overall nothing. But I can still say I like this better than Batman v Superman or better than Suicide Squad. Or I thought technically a better X-Men movie than X-Men Apocalypse. I could definitely say it's a better X-Men movie than X-Men Apocalypse. I could definitely say that. I could just, yeah, but Deadpool number 10, I do like. So you can check out my review of that. Number 9, which also I got for Christmas, but I saw when it came out in the theater or during the summer, and that is Finding Dory, of another very well animated Disney Pixar film with returning cast members like Albert Brooks as Merlin of Nemo's father, Ellen DeGeneres as Dory, um, and new supporting cast members like Diane Keaton and even surprisingly Eugene Levy as Dory's parents, which Eugene Levy hasn't done like a film in quite some time. At least I have not heard of. So it was nice. So it was nice to see the supporting characters of like Eugene Levy and Diane Keaton as Dory's parents, and Ed O'Neill. I thought he was very. I thought he was very. I think he did a really good job as the the name of the octopus? What's his name? I forgot his character's name. But yeah, I thought the octopus. Yeah, Ed O'Neill, which I thought he was pretty funny, and I liked did his voice did a really good job. Once again, you got Idris Elba as one of the sea lions. Like there's this other sea lion where there's this like one giving like the dopey look on his face, and I go, "Hey you, off the rock, off." You know, it's like how almost like how sea lions like saying like that, get off the rock, get off the rock. Hank, that's what it was. Hank. That's what the octopus's name was, Hank. And they also got Ty Burrow, who also really enough appeared in the show Modern Family with Ed O'Neill as Bailey the beluga whale, Destiny the whale shark. So overall, he had even though you don't see Jeffrey Rush returning as Nigel because that's all the way back in Australia. So, but even sadly not in the return of the sharks, like Bruce and the other two ones. But you get to see that sea turtle from the first film. Oh, I forget his name as well. But you get the sea turtle coming back, that character. Even though that was funny, when Dory first arrives at which is the aquarium, he hears like Sigourney Weaver's voice, like, "Hello, Sigourney," and it's like, "I am Sigourney Weaver. Welcome to what's the place's name?" But overall, I thought it was a very once again very well animated Disney animated film. The voice cast I thought did really good. Did really good. Second highest film of this year behind Captain America: Civil War. Disney just has been breaking records left and right with films like these. But Finding Dory, I do enjoy. Moving on to number 8, which I don't have on DVD though, but I think it's out though, and that is Clint Eastwood's new film starring Tom Hanks, Sully. The story about how Captain Sully, how he landed the plane in the Hudson River back in 2009. I thought Clint Eastwood did a really good job directing. He's always been like good and for the full, I would say for most of his films that he I thought was really good, and his directing was well done. Tom Hanks did a really good performance as Captain Sully, and also Aaron Eckhart as well as the co-pilot of Tom Hanks, and Laura Linney who plays Tom Hanks' wife, which Clint Eastwood also used her in his own film that he also starred in back in the day, Absolute Power, when he played his daughter. So yeah, the supporting cast members was really good, like Aaron Eckhart, Lauren Lenny, Tom Hanks did a really good job as Sully, and of course the whole thing with the stories is after you do see flashbacks of how the plane landed in the Hudson River, but it's mostly focusing why he chose to land in the Hudson River instead of going to other runways, and they're trying to do like all these test simulations and like Tom Hanks like proving them wrong and why he made the right decision and all that. So yeah, Sully overall I do enjoy. I think it's like will be one of the, I would sort of think it's likely one of the films that's gonna be like nominated for an Oscar though. Maybe for Tom Hanks or maybe for the directing by Clint Eastwood, or even for Best Picture I would say. I haven't know what the list is yet because I haven't done like the video for the honorable mentions, whatever. But Clint Eastwood I thought he did a really good job directing, and Tom Hanks, really good performance. The score I thought it was overall fine. So Sully, I do enjoy. So that's number 8. No, and moving on to number 7. It's like another comedy crime film, and it's really enough. It's directed by Shane Black, and then it stars Ryan Gosling and Russell Crowe, the nice guys. What really made the film work for me was how with these two, what they have with each other, how they work together in the film, and that really made the movie for me. I thought I got chuckles, I got laughs, and I thought Shane Black did a good job with this film. I thought it definitely was a lot better than when he directed Iron Man 3. That was a huge disappointment. So Shane Black, but I did not like Iron Man 3 than when he directed, but this one I thought he did a really good job directing. Produced by Joel Silver, and also he also helped write with the movie Shane Black, which of course he did for the Lethal Weapon films and The Last Boy Scout. And the supporting cast members, you have Keith David in this and Kim Basinger. It was nice to see Keith David and Kim Basinger. Um, Overall, I thought it was pretty funny, and although there was like a couple more actions, I like to see a little bit more action though. But overall, the humor and the comedy really worked, and especially the highlight is are these two together. I really do enjoy Ryan Gosling and Russell Crowe. They worked really well together. The score by John Ottman, who helped. He's done scores on other films as well. I know who he is, but I can't remember what films he starred in. Well, I remember mostly he did the X-Men scores for the recent ones, but I know he's done scores in other films, like the House of Wax remake. I remember him from that his score from that film. But yeah, the Nice Guys I do enjoy. It was Ryan Gosling and Russell Crowe. They did really good job. That's why I'm glad I have this on DVD. I did see this also saw this back in the theater, and I was really anxious to pick this up on DVD to get it. Written the scripts by Shane Black and this other guy Anthony Bagarozzi, but Shane Black did a really good job with the film. So that's why this is not number. I put this as number 7. So the Nice Guys. And plus I'm a fan of, especially for a fan of Ryan Gosling and then Ryan Gosling. Yeah, I have saw his. Also speaking with him, I saw the teaser for Blade Runner, 2049, and it looked like it looked really good in that teaser. So I'll be check that out with Ryan Gosling when it comes out like next year in October. But although I'm not curious to check out that musical La La Land. Oh, really enough though. I was like sick with his performance in this film because him and Russell Crowe they really did a really good job. That's what the main highlights. I thought it was like kind of a nice thing where like how in the beginning of the film there was I think it was like Russell. I believe it was like Ryan Gosling that he had this thing of like you will never be happy. Written on like right here on the hand, but like by the end of the film, like the never is smudged down. It's like you will be happy. I thought it was kind of a little of a nice touch on that part. So there are some nice touches like that, and but although I like to see like a little more action though, but overall I enjoy the Nice Guys. So that's number 7. Moving on to number 6. There's another animated film that came out earlier than January this year. Kung Fu Panda 3. I thought for the supporting cast members like Jack Black, Dustin Hoffman, even Jackie Chan for his little role as Monkey. Of course, the ones like David Cross and Seth Rogen, Lucy Liu, and Angelina Jolie as Tigress, and then James Hahn, Lopan himself from Big Trouble in Little China, from voicing all these films, and including the TV show. Really enough, I like James Hahn. Then you have Bryan Cranston, who voices Poe's real father. His real father when they go to find the village of pandas, and I thought Bryan Cranston did good, and Kate Hudson as I forget her character's name though, but that was a nice additional to the voice cast, and J.K. Simmons as the villain Kai. I thought he did a really good job as well. Kai has returned. Who? Beast. What was it? Beast Avenger or whatever. It's like, okay, I used to work with Oogway. Oh, Oogway, silence! And J.K. Simmons, I enjoy his voice as Kai. You can see him right there. Um, for the support and I like the supporting voice roles I thought were good. And so Jack Black once again as good as Poe. The score by Hans Zimmer, I overall liked it. I think he did it on the previous two films, but I liked his score. Um, I think they're planning to make some more sequels and make like 6. Even to me, part of me that's kind of like milking it though. But hey, these films have made money, so although really enough, I think both the first two films made over 600 million, but this made well, a decent effort. It made over 500 million. But I think part of me it could have made more money if they were releasing this in the summer because they made the releases in January. Well, originally it was supposed to come out in December 2015, but they wisely moved it for the competition for The Force Awakens. So that was a wise decision. But I think they could have made much more money though if they didn't release it in January. This could have been, I think it would have made more if it was released in the summer. But it got a lot of praise from critics and has a high rating on Rotten Tomatoes. And I overall enjoyed Kung Fu Panda 3. Now, what I think I like this slightly more than Kung Fu Panda 2. I'm not too sure on that. I have to think about that though. But overall, I do enjoy Kung Fu Panda 3. The animation out with it was, it's not the same spot on animation of like the Disney animated films, but because this is DreamWorks. So, but Kung Fu Panda 3 I do enjoy. So, now moving on to number 5. To me, I think is the best horror film of this year. And this film also got a lot of praise from critics. This one has a certified fresh on Rotten Tomatoes, which I think it does deserve. And that is, it stars Blake Lively, and that is The Shallows. I was surprised by this, though. It surprised me, and I thought it was a really good shark movie. I think it's probably the best shark film I've seen in quite some time. No, of course, everyone says, yeah, Jaws is still the best. Even Deep Blue Sea, I like better than The Shallows. But this was a really good, I thought it was a pretty, I would say, damn good shark film. Blake Lively, did a really good job. How in the effects of the shark, yeah, there was some CG of the shark though, but from a lot of parts, it looked like it was a practical. The shark was practical in some parts. At least I'm glad they made some effort for that. And even of course, when she finds that dead whale, practical, not CG. So that was a good effect on the dead whale. The shark I thought was really really menacing. Well, I would say it's definitely the shark is just like an asshole basically because this won't leave her alone. And I like that there's a strong point to her. Like she goes and tries to fight the shark, or when she got bit, she wants to be like a doctor, so she stitches her bit leg up. And for most of the movie, she's stuck on this rock, and I thought it was kind of funny where she's accompanied by this seagull right here. And I thought when she gets that handheld camera, when she's like, if she does not make it, if someone finds this shows that she didn't make it though, and she like how like hey, at least I'm not alone. I'm with this little guy here, Steven Seagal. I thought it was kind of funny though. At least they did not go overboard on that joke. Oh, Steven Seagal, I get it. It's Steven Seagal. Yeah, I get the whole thing, but it was she didn't meant to say it like it was too silly or anything. She was just doing like a little poke fun joke of it. So I thought that little humor was handled well, and and one part that I thought surprised me when those two guys that come back and she's like, hey, get out of the water, and then all of a sudden the shark jumps and grabs that one guy. I was like, oh, and I thought it was a different way how she killed. It was a different way how she killed the shark. How instead of typically just blowing up the shark or whatever, I thought it was a different way how she killed it. How she just goes. Well, I won't get into it because I will do a movie review of this, so I won't get into much in that. So, but it was. I thought Blake Lively did a really good job. She held her own, and The shark is definitely an asshole and just is trying to take her out. And I thought some part. Oh, I had to mention where it was. One part was that gave me like an oh shit reaction. Like when she gets a GoPro from the other guy, and then she turns around and all of a sudden the shark is right up there in her face. That gave me like a oh crap moment right there. So yeah, I enjoy The Shallows. It surprised me, and this is to me the best horror film I've seen this year, and definitely the best shark film I've seen. I'd take this anything over any of the Sharknado movies, definitely, or any other crappy sci-fi shark film. Definitely, this is definitely how you do something like this. And I would say I would agree with most of these things it says right here. Viscerally entertaining, courageous, breathtaking, terrifying, fearless, survive, original. Well, I'll probably say it's different how the way the shark dies. I would probably say it's different from that. So for the most part, I would agree with these, and I would say definitely earns a certified fresh and Rotten Tomatoes, and it performed well at the box office. And also I got to mention, it's surprisingly it's from the same. It's from the director of the House of Wax remake, and Nonstop with Liam Neeson, Orphan. So yeah, and this is another. There's a couple of films I did not care for, like Unknown or Run All Night. Which those are two other films with Liam Neeson as well. But I like Orphan. I enjoy the House of Wax remake. I like Nonstop a lot, and I like this film. So this guy is definitely. He has a couple of misses though, but still overall I think he's a good director. I thought he did a really good job with this film. So The Shallows, it's another good one. I would definitely recommend to check this one if anyone hasn't seen it. The best horror film of the year for me? Yes. Now, moving on to number 4, which it's probably still playing in theaters, but it's not on DVD yet, but it's Marvel's, well, actually, I got the poster right here I got for Christmas. Doctor Strange. Once again, it's another hit for Marvel. I really enjoy Doctor Strange. It's visually really good looking, visually explaining how the magic and the dimensions and all that. And what surprised me is that it's directed by Scott Derrickson, who directed Deliver Us from Evil with Eric Bana, which I like that film. But although I did not like the other previous ones he has done, like the remake of The Day the Earth Stood Still, or Hellraiser 5 Inferno, or even Sinister. I definitely didn't like Sinister. He also directed The Exorcism of Emily Rose, which I thought was okay. But I like Deliver Us from Evil, and surprisingly, from this director, though, I enjoy Doctor Strange. Benedict Cumberbatch, I was not too big on him. Like, I think I didn't care for in Star Trek Beyond. We played Khan, but but my dad, he likes his show Sherlock, so he likes him in that show. But overall, yeah, I think Benedict Cumberbatch did a really good job as Doctor Strange. I think he, like I said from the teaser, he looks the part of Doctor Strange. Supporting characters like Rachel McAdams, Benedict Wong, Tilda Swinton as the Ancient One. Yeah, and I get the whole. I still get the. I don't care about the whole thing of what people are saying about the whitewashing thing. Like, I mean, come on. If they cast how is put differently from how it was in the comics, I'm not gonna complain about it. Yeah, I could point out though, but I'm not making a huge deal about it. So, I like Tilda Swinton, who is also in a DC film that was Constantine. But I thought she was good as the Ancient One. Chitwar, if I mispronounced his name, as Mordo. I thought he was overall good as well. How first he was like kind of like a good guy, but how he turns and how he gets that turns when he's a villain now. The visuals, how they exploit this magic, I thought was really well made. And the bad guy played by Mads Mikkelsen as Caecilius. Even though there's some other villains. Yeah, there's some other Marvel villains say that they're not good on their type of villains though, but Mads Mikkelsen, I think he's a good actor though, but I thought overall he was overall good as Caecilius. Yeah, he's definitely not the best. He's definitely not the best Marvel villain though. Like I still think James Spader as Ultron. That he's still a much better villain. Um, or Corey Stoll, who was the Yellow Jacket and Ant Man. Cool looking suit though, but I think Miles Mikkelsen was a slightly better villain than the one in Ant Man though. But what else is there? The villains. Robert Redford as Alexander Pierce and the Winter Soldier. And you can hear my dog barking if you can hear that. But yeah, I think overall I would say Miles Mikkelsen was overall good. And there was a little bit of supporting role by Scott Adkins, really enough, as one of his henchmen when he's fighting with Doctor Strange, doing the astral form as well, showing us a little bit of his moves. Now, yeah, Scott Adkins didn't do that much in the film, so slight nitpick though, but still. The score by Michael Giacchino, I did like the visuals really how the way, especially when we saw the trailer when Caecilius and when they're the mirror dimension and when they're in New York and he does this and the whole city starts turning and everything's like splitting up and breaking apart. How isn't a dimension? Very well done visuals. So we got Doctor Strange. I think it's one of the best trailers of this year for me. One of the best trailers. But overall, I do better. Like I said, this is what I see from I get what from Marvel instead what I don't get from DC. So that's why I say it's better. It's definitely better than DC. Any of these new DC films. It shows. So Doctor Strange, I do overall do enjoy, and so I'll gladly pick it up on DVD if I can. Sorry about that. So yeah. So moving on now to number 3. But overall, I do enjoy Doctor Strange. And next up is the next Marvel movie, which was also the big hit this year that I really did highly enjoy. Captain America: Civil War. At first, when I first heard about when they were doing a film like this, when the storyline for that, which I didn't care for though, as I was thinking, the heroes versus heroes and all that though. But all that aside though, I did enjoy Captain America: Civil War. Robert Downey Jr. and Chris Evans, how the storyline, how they were with each other. I really do enjoy them. They really did once again good performances. Highly enjoy especially Chris Evans as Captain America. Um, the action scenes I thought was really well done. One of the biggest highlights when they did at the airport, which are a lot of people will say the same thing. The airport scene when they're all fighting each other, and Paul Rudd coming back as Ant-Man, especially when he became Giant Man, and Tom Holland when he featured as Spider-Man. I thought he did a really good job. I was really going to see him. Look forward to seeing in Homecoming, and especially how he was acting when he first meets with Robert Downey Jr. in his room, and it's like, I can't do anything right now. I got homework to do. Or when he plays, and I liked how the suit and of course, when they do fix with the eye part, and he's like, when first he gets the little fight when he holds Bucky's metal arm, it's like, you got a metal arm, and he's just holding it down because Spider-Man's stronger than his. It's like, you got a metal arm? That is awesome. Or when he's talking about the Captain America's like with the shields, like, that thing does not abide the laws of physics at all. So, and once again, the humor I thought was really well done, was really well handled, like how it was in Age of Ultron. So, and other cast members: Scarlett Johansson, Black Widow, Sebastian Stan as the Winter Soldier. Anthony Mackie I do enjoy as Wilson, Falcon. Don Cheadle as War Machine, Rhodes. Chadwick Boseman, who plays the Black Panther or T'Challa. He's surprising. I thought he did a really good job, surprisingly. And I liked him in this. I like the you can see right there. I'm sure people know what it is in the movie though, but his Black Panther suit I thought was really cool looking, and I'll be anxious to check out this film when it comes out in early 2018 Black Panther, so I'll be anxious to check that out. Jeremy Renner, for his supporting role as Hawkeye, once again good. Um, Paul Bettany as Vision, once again good job as well. Elizabeth Olsen as Scarlet Witch, although she was overall fine as well. Paul Rudd once again as Ant-Man. Um, Tom Holland, William Hurt as once again playing Ross, like for the first time since the Incredible Hulk, and that was all the way back in 2008. And also another thing with Tom Holland was especially when I love his reaction when Paul Rudd became Giant Man. He's like, holy shit! So the humor I really did enjoy, and the fight sequences. The little fight scene was that was well, not the fight though, but Frank Grillo, he comes back as Brumlow Crossbones from the Winter Soldier because he survived from how when the helicarrier crashed the building. He survived. I would say the one problem I have is that he didn't appear much. He was only at the beginning of the movie, and because I like him as an actor, but his character of Crossbones, I thought was much more gonna be much more bigger than that though. So, and even though he's like, "There you are, you son of a bitch," to Captain America's like, "This is for dropping a building on my face," and when he takes his mask off, his like the how his decent makeup, but how his face is like messed up. He's like, I think I look pretty good for all things considered. And he was about to kill Captain. He was about to commit suicide with the self bomb. The Scarlet Witch is holding the explosion, hurls him off, but it causes the building to get destroyed. When some people got killed accidentally. So yeah, that was the one problem for me is that Frank Grillo was underused in this movie. Because I liked him. I thought he was good in the Winter Soldier. I thought when he comes back in this, I thought he was gonna have a much bigger thing though, but apparently he didn't. Sadly, so that's like the one thing that's one thing issue I have is Frank Grillo's little appearance. But overall, the characters I still enjoyed, and the humor I thought was still handled well. The fight scene, especially the airport scene, great action scene. The other villain, played by Daniel Brühl, if I pronounce his name, as Zemo. Because his whole plan was basically to tear the Avengers apart, trying to get Chris Evans and Robert Downey Jr. to kill each other. Because he was living in Sokovia during the time when Age of Ultron happened, and his family was killed. And to basically frames Bucky for the people to go get him, and reads him that book that when he was to make him the words that makes him brainwashed under Hydra's command at the time. Martin Freeman also as well as a supporting role as Ever Ross. I think in the comics he was like an ally with the Black Panther, so nice to see him in there as well. But I highly enjoy Captain America Civil War, really do. Definitely this is why I get fun out of this. Comparing with the DC films. This is what with this film, Doctor Strange is what I have fun with. With great with the characters, and like Batman v Superman, they have supposed to be they smash all the things with all the characters all at once. This is how they handled the characters well with everybody in it. But anyway, yeah, that's the third film. That's number 3, I should say. Captain America: Civil War. I highly enjoyed. I loved it. I'm looking forward for the new ones coming out next year, like Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, and then Spider-Man: Homecoming. Although the thing with Thor Ragnarok, because I think Thor: The Dark World was a little bit of a step down, though. But I think Ragnarok will be better than The Dark World. But yeah, so Captain America: Civil War, definitely 2 thumbs up. I really did enjoy it. So moving on to number 2 is another Disney animated film that definitely wasn't one of the biggest hits of this year, and I also reviewed as well. Zootopia. Yeah, this is the Blu-ray though, but I got this because the DVD cover on the other one, the cover on the DVD was a very crappy one. It shows these two together. I like this one where it shows like almost everybody in this. So, but also maybe one day I'll get a Blu-ray player to watch this on the Blu-ray though. But still, I'm fine with it because it comes with a DVD. But I was to say the best anime film for me. I really love Zootopia. It was critically acclaimed. Has a 98% Rotten Tomatoes. Deserves it. I really love this film. Um, I thought the voice role, like Jennifer Goodwin, who voiced Snow White in Once Upon a Time, was good. Jason Bateman has Nick, and once again Idris Elba, once again voice another voice role. So the third voice role that he did. He did this film, then Finding Dory, and then he voiced Shere Khan in The Jungle Book. Yeah, there's three voice roles in a row, and all these films are on the top list of the highest grossing films this year, really enough. So yeah, kind of find it weird. But Idris Elba, I thought as a Chief Bogo, the buffalo right there. I thought he was funny as well. J.K. Simmons in the supporting role as Mayor Lionheart. Even Tommy Chong as this hippie yak, running that club. From Cheech and Chong. I thought it was kind of a funny supporting role right there. The other characters I liked, Nat Torrance, who voices Clawhauser right there, the fat cheetah who's always eating everything. And the funny things I liked. Of course, a lot of people think was funny when they go to the DMV, oh, they're all sloths? And Nick's like, what, just because he's a sloth doesn't mean he can be fast? And the song, of course, everyone remembers this film. That's the song, "Try Everything" by Shakira. Try everything. Yeah, I like that song. Yeah, I do. Overall, I like that song. So it's very well animated, especially how when the film ends, when Gazelle, also voiced by Shakira, how the way credits are going, everything's just like colorful, and how the lights are. Everyone's gathered to see Gazelle's concert. Yeah, that there, if you can see it. I thought it was overall, yeah, I enjoyed Zootopia a lot. The Jennifer Goodwin, Jason Bateman. I like the characters in the film. I wouldn't be surprised if they are going to plan to do a sequel to this. Part of me says, yeah, I'll look forward to seeing a sequel to this. It shows how, because by the end, Nick is now a fox cop, and I'd like to see more how now that they are partners now as cops and they're partners. So see how far that goes. So. But I know they're going to do a sequel to Wreck-It Ralph 2, and there's Frozen 2. But I'd like to see part of me would like to see a sequel to Zootopia. I really do enjoy it, and it surprisingly made $1 billion. They caught my surprise by that. Even though Finding Dory surpassed it, though, but I was like, really, wow, this film made over $1 billion. Like, surprised me. I didn't expect that. But yeah, I enjoy Zootopia. Definitely the best animated film of the year for me. Even though my brother, he likes the film, but he does not like that song, Try Everything. I think it's annoying. He said he would rather listen to Let It Go from Frozen. So yeah. And now, finally get into the favorite film of this year, which... What makes me mad about this? This film did basically made almost no money. And it's an action film that I was curious about when I first saw the trailer. When the first trailer of this film came out and I saw it, I was really curious about it. And it caught my attention, and it looked pretty interesting. And I saw it, and I loved it. And this is what I will expect to see in action films. But apparently not so, because it barely made no money. But Hardcore Henry. Even my brother saw this. He said this is like the most flawed movie ever. Well, not ever, but this is what he says. It's a very flawed movie. Yeah, I know. I would say, yeah, I would say there's no film that is perfect. It's not going to be perfect, but at least you can. At least when they make it fun, it's fun. And I had a total blast when I saw this film. I love Hardcore Henry. I like the idea of how it's fact this Zoltov is one from one person's point of view, Henry, and how it's like how he's like half human and now he's half android, and there's just people after him, and it's all I think it takes place in Russia, and Shalta Copley, who plays Jimmy. Shalta Copley, he was from District 9, and he was also he was the king in Maleficent. And at first, when I first saw it, of course, when I first saw this film, yes, I did. I guess I also did manage to see. I managed to see this in the theater because due to its poor box office performance, it was quickly going no longer playing in theaters. So I had to see this as fast as I could, and I'm glad I saw it because this is definitely worth my money here. And when I first saw this, the character of Jimmy, played by Shelter Copley, is like when he shows a couple of him dying and then dying, I was like, okay, what's up with this? Why does he keep on coming back? He's dead. But of course, they explain that the real Jimmy, how he made copies of himself, and that he has this good thing he can control them. He can control them from his wheelchair because he had an accident while working with our main bad guy, and he's paralyzed. So he should create this thing so he can like this, put this thing over his face like this, and he can control each body. Okay, and I really did enjoy it, and there was some good. There was a good things, definitely a lot of good things I liked about it. It was gory, it was bloody, and it was just fun from beginning to end. It kept on going, kept on going, and it's very fast paced. It's extremely fast paced, and it's not that long of a movie. It's only an hour 37 minutes, without the end credits though. It's just very fast. It kept on going and going, and also you get also supporting role. Well, the girl was supposedly played his wife. I know she was also in the remake of the Magnificent Seven. And you also get a little appearance from Tim Roth, really enough, who plays Henry's father. Like how tells him he's by the end he's getting beat up, and his father tells him like when he was a kid, he tells him to give him some advice like, "Are you just gonna sit there and sit there bleeding and swallow that blood, or are you gonna spit it out and get up and spill some of theirs?" And I was like, he says, "You little pussy," but I'm not gonna call you that. You're my son, Henry, and I'll always call you that, and I love you. So Tim Roth had a nice little supporting role in that. Only in this flashback when he was a kid, though, but still was nice to see Tim Roth. Charlton Copley, I thought he did a good job as playing all these Jimmies. I thought it was really how again like his same face and with all these bodies in the same spot at once in his lab. But the action, I really did enjoy. It's bloody and it's gory, and I thought some of the humor I thought was pretty funny as well. And I thought it was funny when he enters this strip club and you hear "My Girl" playing. um, it was just fun and exciting for me. This is what I wanted to see in an action film. It's like the same thing I had much fun on since I saw Dread. Which yeah, I have the poster right there still. I got that same feeling experience ever since I first saw Dread. I got that same fun film. That's what I wanted to see. But that film bombed. Dread. That film got the pass though, but it bombed box office wise. This film, yeah, it was everything. It was shot for a very low budget. I think it was like about 2 million at most. It was very well done. I didn't know it was made for like 2 million, considering how much it was made. But if they worldwide it made like 14 million. Yeah, it was a success overall though, but it didn't make that much of an impact as I thought it would be. Because of the fact that it's hardcore Henry. Things we see all this hardcore packed action film. And the bad guy was kind of like a weird thing. How this bad guy has like this power to move things and lift things and stuff like that. Though, even my brother was like, "Oh, what the hell is this? What's this guy have this powers for?" But yeah, I'll do a movie review and I'll get the full details on it though, because I don't want to give everything out. But I love this. I just love this movie. This is definitely this is what an action film I really wanted to see. But it just makes me mad as this film just didn't make that much money. This is what the main problem I have with it is. It didn't make that much money. Why? Because because it's all told from one person's point of view. If people watch it, they're gonna get nauseous while watching it because so much shakiness and it's all told from a person's point of view. Of course, when you do things, it's going like this and boy. I just don't get it though. But Hardcore Henry, I love this film. I can just watch this over and not get tired of it because I just have so much fun in this. This is definitely what I loved about it. It was different. Yeah, it was different how it was told from a one person's point of view instead of like how a standard film is. I thought it was made it interesting and how definitely crazy ways how Henry kills some guys and especially for the ending how he gets all these other people who also turned like they were like him. And you have Queen playing, "Don't Stop Me Now." Don't stop me now. And how he takes one guy, just drags his face all against this concrete wall and throws one person to this fan, his blood spurting out, and or earlier when these two cops harassing this girl and he just grabs one guy by the ball, just crushes it. I was like, ooh, I was like, oh I like that. I laughed at that and just Henry just goes and he just kicks ass. I loved how with. I don't understand get why people don't. Well, people have the right not to see what they want, but I'm saying I just don't get why this film failed so much box office wise. It was just lots of action. It was bloody as hell and lots of fire, lots of fun gunfire and like the part where Henry has a sword, he takes some people on a tank and or just how when this guy is going after gets his part of his heart and goes and rips his heart out to get this part thing and it's just very bloody. This is what I loved about it and just oh man, it's just oh more I could say. So yeah, that's my but Hardcore Henry, I loved it. This is what my kind of action film I would like to love to have seen. I would like to see more of these, but sadly no, we're never gonna get that because the film failed. Even the critics were really mixed on it though. I was like, really? But it's all people have their own opinions though, so in my opinion, I loved it. I loved it very much. Badass film. That's I felt like I got that same badness as when I saw Dread. What was it? Also, John Wick. That was also a badass action film as well. Like I felt like yeah, Carl Urban as Dread, Keanu Reeves as John Wick, and I know sure they say there was like a couple other guys playing Henry, but I couldn't tell. It looked like it was all from one person. But I thought that the acting was pretty fine, and especially the people who played Henry doing all these stunts like some parkour and Shalta Copley as Jimmy's and all the Jimmys and Tim Roth was nice to see in his supporting little role he has. And I also really love it's the producer of this film was the guy who directed Wanted and Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter. If he directed it, I thought it would be fine. If he directed this film, I would say, man, you made one badass of a movie. Much better than Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter or Wanted. But he produced it, though. The guy who... I can't pronounce his name. I think it's a Russian name, so... But I loved it. So 2 thumbs up. I'm glad to watch this over and over again. I definitely rate this as badass action films that out of the past recent years. I'll definitely put this up there with Dread, definitely with John Wick, and I can't think of anything else because those are just like the ones that I love. Those are just badass action films. They're just great and bloody. Yeah, those were bloody films as well, and just great on action. Even Keanu, well, no, even John Wick. It made money though, but it wasn't that big of a hit either. Even that film got praise as well. Yeah, so I'm glad about it, but yeah, that's my top 11 best films of 20 2016. So just to recap, number 11 was the Purge election year. 10, Deadpool. 8, Finding Dory. No, 9, Finding Dory. Then number 8, Sully. 7, The Nice Guys. 6, Kung Fu Panda 3. 5, The Shallows. 4, Doctor Strange. Number 3, Captain America: The Civil War. Number 2, Zootopia. And number 1, Hardcore Henry. So hope you enjoyed. Like I said, if anyone disagrees with me, that's fine. Everyone has the right to make their own list, though. But this is my list, and I enjoy these films. So, but like I said, we all agree to disagree. It's fine. So that's the last film I'll be making for year 2016, as we're entering now in year 2017. Can't wait to see what other bad films I have to make a list from, and what other good films I look forward to making. So seeing as well, I mean. So yeah. So thanks for watching, and hope you enjoyed my top best films of 2016. And I'll see you later in year 2017. Happy New Year to everybody. Later.